Hello, and welcome to Afghanistan News Update on Zarin TV Network. I'm Nicole Thomas. It's Tuesday, January 6th, and we're bringing you the latest news and in-depth coverage of important events from across Afghanistan. Reports from Takhar province indicate that protests by a number of its residents have escalated and turned violent in recent days. Indicate that protests by a number of its residents have escalated and turned violent in recent days. What began as peaceful demonstrations quickly intensified after security forces intervened, leading to clashes between the protesters and authorities. Eyewitnesses say that the situation became tense when demonstrators, frustrated by what they describe as unaddressed grievances, refused to disperse. The protesters had specific demands related to local governance and resource allocation, which they claim have been consistently ignored by local authorities. The resulting violence has left several people injured and has drawn condemnation from human rights groups. This event has once again raised serious concerns about the right to protest and freedom of expression in Afghanistan, highlighting the ongoing challenges faced by citizens seeking to make their voices heard in the current political climate. Amina Mohammed, the United Nations Deputy Secretary General, in her latest remarks, has called on the international community not to remain silent in the face of the Taliban's ongoing violation of women's and girls' rights in Afghanistan. She emphasized that the rights of women are not a marginal issue, but must be placed at the very center of all engagement and dialogue with the ruling authorities. Mohammed pointed out that the rollback of basic freedoms, such as access to education, employment, and public life, is having a devastating impact on millions of Afghan women and girls. The senior UN official added that international pressure must continue and even intensify until Afghan women and girls are able to reclaim all their fundamental rights, including the right to attend school, work, and participate fully in society. She urged world leaders and organizations to take concrete actions and not allow the plight of Afghan women to fade from the global agenda. Families affected by the recent earthquake in Kunar province are now grappling with an even more dire situation as the harsh winter season sets in, and humanitarian aid continues to dwindle. Many of these families, who lost their homes and livelihoods in the disaster, are still living in makeshift shelters that offer little protection against the cold. Without adequate heating facilities, children and the elderly are especially vulnerable to illness and exposure. Local residents report that the aid received so far has been insufficient to meet their basic needs, and many are struggling to find enough food, warm clothing, and medical supplies. Community leaders are urgently calling on aid agencies and the international community to step up their support and address the worsening situation before it escalates into a full-blown humanitarian disaster. The coming weeks will be critical for these families as they try to survive the winter with limited resources. Following ongoing tensions and repeated closures of key trade crossings between Afghanistan and Pakistan, officials from both countries have now agreed to establish a joint committee dedicated to resolving these issues. This committee will be responsible for investigating the underlying causes of the disruptions and proposing practical solutions to ensure the permanent reopening and smooth operation of the trade routes. The crossings, particularly Torkham and Spin Boldak, serve as vital economic lifelines for Afghanistan, facilitating the movement of goods, food, and essential supplies. Their closure has had widespread negative impacts, disrupting businesses, increasing prices, and affecting the livelihoods of countless people on both sides of the border. The formation of this joint committee is seen as a positive step towards restoring stability and boosting economic cooperation, but many stakeholders are watching closely to see if it will lead to lasting improvements in cross-border trade. For the latest news from Afghanistan, the region, and the world in the fields of politics, social affairs, human rights, technology, science, cinema, and music, like, share, and subscribe to Zarin Global TV's social media pages on Facebook, Instagram, X, and YouTube. You can also get the latest updates from Zarin Global TV's website at www.zarintv.com. Additionally, Zarin TV live streaming is available on Afghan Procast TV and GLWiz, as well as through the Zarin TV website and live streaming application on the App Store and Play Store. Until the next program, goodbye.